I mean, I've done a single stint of Pro League, you know, once Snods was on his deathbed, but unfortunately Hugo's fine.
Yeah,
so
no, sad to say, it's a sad day for everyone all around the world, but we're going to be getting into this. We don't have to wait any longer, Jakey. We're into the game. HellRaisers versus G2. And as noted by the desk, G2 starting over on the T side of things. Armor across the board for HellRaisers. They cannot afford to let this bomb go down. They are going to have a tough time in the retake if they let that happen.
Yeah, G2 just slowing it down here. Walking towards that A site. Bit of utility on Nexa and Amanek. Have to see where that goes out. Some nice overview cams coming in.
Yeah.
I believe supplied by our resident observer, Rushley.
Oh.
Of course.
Yeah, I was about to say, Hugo's quickly gone in and designed these at a blistering pace, but no, we'll strip that credit away from him. Speaking of stripping things away, I wonder if this peak is about to come through from Jax. No supporting utility going out just yet. Nexa moving up the ramp and the bomb's on the back of Amanek. He's lining up his utility from back towards yellow, so this is all now going to go in for G2. And they've got to try and overwhelm HellRaisers now. The rotation's coming in and Amanek opening up onto Scooby. Quite the man to find. And Kenny in with the trade. Flashbangs are good though, and Nuki and Crush, they've made such quick work of this round. It's only Jax left standing. And Nuki, what a way to start this game. 3 kills immediately found there in that pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, it's just anarchy on the A site. And Nuki is someone who I've been really impressed with. I mean, we saw him again last season of Pro League, but he actually started off his career in the UK scene. I believe he was playing with Impulse Gaming for a while before moving up to playing Ducks onto Impulse. And here he is now, and his raw talent is like incredible to watch. His aim is something else.
Well, if you were observing this, who on the G2 side are you really looking at to step up?
Well, I mean, Kenny, he looked a bit awkward in his positions yesterday, but then once they sort of just threw caution to the wind, he was absolutely giving it, just flying around the map. That's some block kills come in. Okay, Hunter and Amanek making things a bit expensive here.
Yeah, we were just talking over the top of it. I threw you a question because I figured this wouldn't be a very exciting round, but actually that aggression goes down in the background, and it didn't look like G2 were going to make it costly, but then those kills coming in, just about doing a bit of damage to the economy of HellRaisers. Nothing to write home about, though, as the buys coming back in for either side regardless. You will see Flarich down onto the MP9, but he could upgrade. That's through choice. So the attempt at a bit of a bonus here for HR. G2 coming in with their first full rifle buy, and it looks like there could be another duel going down at the ramp.
Yeah, just so much of this A ramp aggression. I mean, we saw Astralis play this earlier on in the week, and they were absolutely dominating when they were doing this, but G2, they're absolutely ready. Kenny S, beautiful headshot.
Yeah, that's going to start G2 with the man advantage, and they're spurred on now, at least to maintain this foothold at ramp. They weren't prepared to give it up to HellRaisers. Nuki holding for this peak, does have support from Flarich. Flashbang going to go in and they try and peek on the back of it. They'll get repaid though with damage coming their way, and a cracking shot hit by Jax there to find Nuki attempting to fall back into the bomb site. 2-on-4 for HellRaisers, and G2 now, they're just going to pump the brakes. They slow right down. They know they've got a significant advantage, and they're going to make HR work if they want to get back into this 2-on-4.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the pace of this game already. I mean, I feel like this is what we're going to see this entire game. I mean, G2, Nexa was saying in the interview yesterday that they couldn't really deal with the mid-round calls on that CT side, so they were just getting ultra-aggressive, taking those fights. And HellRaisers, I mean, so much aggression at the start of these rounds so far.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we see that fast, aggressive, you know, just kind of everyone, I don't even know what it was. Everyone just felt like they were just focusing on their crosshairs and barely even talking to each other yesterday on Nuke. I hope we get that same sort of chaos here and now. And they've made quick work of the one man inside of the site. Crush is dancing around this smoke. That wrap to his left, Nexa will be the man to solidify the first round for G2. And they'll keep it pretty clean as well. They're happy with how that one turns out. In spite of, you know, still holding MP9s into that round, HellRaisers don't really have the cash to invest here. Of course, with that third round buy coming in and 2 kills being found by the Glocks in the round before it, they are a little bit hamstrung in terms of the money. So yeah, there's no investment here. And this might be G2's chance to equalize this out nice and early.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Jax get a nice double entry there. He was complaining again on Twitter last night about how he felt pretty uncomfortable in this new lineup, just sort of trying to work the kinks out. Obviously, it's very hard going in to like speaking English from just speaking French, you know, communicating. I mean,
Yeah.
CS is communication at the end of the day, so.
And that's such a big change to have to make, right? That's not just, it can be hard enough making 1 or 2 roster adjustments. When you bring in 2 new players and you have to, oh my word, well.
Well, there we go.
God, he speaks the language of headshots, doesn't he? He's just lit them up there. Obviously only the pistols, but it's nice that Jax is finding his footing early. I think, you know, it was showing early on that CT side yesterday that they were, and especially in the first half, that G2 were feeling uncomfortable, right? There was a lot of times where you could see some communication issues present. You could see players, you know, maybe there was information that should have been given over that never quite fell on the correct ears. But here, they're bringing the heat nice and quickly. And HellRaisers, once again, with this ramp aggression.
Oh, Hugo just about finding Jax. Always hard to find who's actually on top of the boost, and oh my word, he's not on top of the boost anymore. Nuki's ripped his head off.
Yeah, now that we see this AWP out, we can see HellRaisers take a bit more of an active stance in contending this ramp room. Thankfully, Hunter has at least dealt with one of these aggressive players, so that's going to stop HellRaisers getting much information from this aggressive play. It's Nuki's AWP that really makes this area of the map a horrible one to contend for now if you're G2. And so it's back to the drawing board. And by the looks of things, back to this B bomb site.
Yeah, not a bad decision, just walking up those B stairs, just contacting in. Flaric is joined by Crush here, I believe. And I believe he just got that info there. Lovely kill. Beautiful flashbang supplied by Crush. And yeah, G2 falling short in this 5th round.
Now creeping up towards the site. Flaric and Crush, they've just fallen off and taken this passive hold. Not like they quickly assembled that boost into middle. They didn't spot anyone there. G2 are not getting given a means of getting back into this round. They've got to find these 2 kills inside of the B bomb site. And if they do, Scooby on this rotation, setting up over in the window. This position could be so valuable for him. It's going to spot that first player crossing. Flaric dropping one, Hunter throwing into the clutch, and it never materializes. That will be HellRaisers securing around that AWP on Nuki, already showing its value here for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost surprised G2 even went for that. We've seen quite a few teams just happily enough on the T side just to save 2-3 guns and take them into the next round, but, you know, fair enough. Hit the gunfights. Doesn't always work out.
I'm hoping we can see an AWP on Kenny sometime soon, and we don't have to wait long. My wish is immediately granted. I also wish for lots of money. That one not come true yet. But Kenny got the AWP, doesn't spot Nuki there on the boost. Jax, shows his rear end, and Nuki will take it off. Flashbang through to try and get this trade. And right now, they know they've got Nuki trapped on the sandbags. They'll Molotov him out. Not able to capitalize, though, as he does get back into the bomb site. There's Kenny arriving with his AWP. The 2 AWPers, first time we see them clash. Kenny coming out on top, a good sign for G2, and that's the 4-on-4 retaken here by the majority French squad.
Yeah, nice aggression on those B stairs, getting lots of info for their team, but Hunter's already so far pushed up. Crush and Scooby, they're ready. Scooby already taking out Kenny S, and the rotations are coming in. This can get scary for G2 if they wait much longer.
Oh, this is... Can he see him? Yeah.
Yep.
Crush can see the man in the corner. Hunter still winning that fight somehow, some way. And no one can seem to find him. It's this wrap from Angel that should solidify the round. And oh dear, the trigger discipline. Oh dear. There we go. Bomb finally dropped. Hunter now. Yeah, as he swivels around, as he tries to deal with the man in the back, he'll get pincered. Amanek throwing into this clutch with the Krieg. Not giving him any means of getting back into that round, though. And HellRaisers showing a lot of restraint on this CT side. That nice flank coming through from Angel. Completely blindsiding G2. And so even with that AWP making its debut for the T side, it's not enough to find them around.
Yeah, I mean, that round just sort of fell apart for G2. It felt like they could have been a bit more patient there by that forklift with Kenny S getting boosted up. They only seemed to wait for that first, like, 3-4 seconds, see if HellRaisers got aggressive, and then Jax was just chasing that AWP all on his own. No flashbangs, no nothing. Yeah, it just fell apart from there. Nobody watching the flank, and yeah, a lovely experience from Angel shining through. Lovely bit of trigger discipline, and 4-2 to HellRaisers.
Yeah, you mentioned that they didn't see that flank, and I think the reason why it takes them by surprise so much is that wasn't the traditional, you know, like mid-aggression from the CTs. Flanks often come through that ladder room rotation, right? But Angel was actually very heads up. They hadn't seen anyone over towards B. They had control down towards B ramp. And so Amanek was waiting in mid all round for a flank to come in. They assumed that backline was clear. And it was the B play, the B push that they should have been worried about the whole time. Just these pistols now for the G2 squad, and this ramp area, one that HellRaisers have been keen to contest, looks to be the name of the game.
Yeah, I mean, this should just be an absolute slaughter for the CTs. Not much you can really do. Okay, they're being cautious, not throwing away their lives recklessly. Scooby, dangerous position with that SG. Oh, he's going to mow them all down.
Yeah, this is going about as well as you would have hoped for G2. They've at least taken some utility from the hands of HellRaisers. I'm really looking for silver linings there, though. That's a 5th round on the board for H-Sharp.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking a bit one-dimensional for G2 so far. They haven't really gone anywhere other than that A bomb site with their main pack. We haven't really seen any aggression in mid. Seems to just be Amanek, I believe, holding there. And yeah, I mean, they haven't found much success at all on that A bomb site. So be interesting to see if they spoke about that in that tactical pause and if they are going to change things.
Oh, well, you might have hit the nail on the head. An immediate switch up. First time we've really seen them try any hand over towards that mid control. It was just Amanek throwing utility in to allow this cross into the ladder room. He's posted up in there once again, but with Crush and Scooby both going on this mid-aggression, he does have to be careful, and Amanek just decides to concede that ladder room, the Molotov forcing him down out of that position. So mid-control contested and actually won out by HellRaisers. They get Crush into a very, very forward position. And from here, not only is he very fast on the rotations, but he can hear any noise, any little clues that G2 do give up.
Yeah, I believe the CT's just pushed B as well, and now Angel's running it back towards A, so they have so much info on this counter-terrorist side that G2, it's going to be really tough to get in here.
Oh, hang on. Nexa. Not like he was... No, okay, he's just watching the flank. Yeah, they're so worried about this wrap coming back in. Obviously, we've already seen Angel go on one, and they know that HellRaisers were contesting for that mid control. So in the back of their minds, they're ever worried about this flank coming in from HellRaisers. Hunter looking to be the first man in. Flashes out from the rest of the squad. Smokes it down as well to allow this bomb into the site. Oh, but through the smoke, Angel just goes barreling in. Crush is followed up. The trade's coming through. It's back and forth, and we haven't seen a single one of these ones, Hugo. What's gone wrong here? Jackson Kenny, 2 versus 3. 7 seconds left. That bomb plant's got to come in, and they just about try and get it, but no, there's not enough time. Kenny getting kills on the exit, but all he can do is survive till after the clock. HellRaisers, another round to their name.
Yeah, I mean, something certainly did happen that round.
Yeah.
I mean, might have to download the demo to actually understand what happened, but, you know, Vertigo gets confusing. You know, there's so many odd corners. The fact that people just overlap on the map, it's a bit of a mess. So.
What's more challenging to observe, Vertigo or Nuke?
Well, especially when working for ESL, they have that Nuke mini-map with 2 levels, so it's so much easier observing Nuke.
There we go. So Hugo really is getting a trial by fire here. His second time observing. First was Dust 2, and now it's Vertigo. He's really upped the difficulty level there. That AK on Kenny, gonna have to do a lot in this round, right? There's not much for G2 to work with. They've got no utility as well, so they're gonna have a hard time forcing any of these fights out from HellRaisers. trying to secure some presence over here towards the B side of the map. Flaric was just jiggle peeking that angle, and the second he sees anyone, he drops his utility, falls back passively over towards the generators, and G2 now boosting Kenny over towards middle. They've got a player back in mid as well, so they could try and split into this position. Kenny waited, posted up on the angle, but Nuki's going to beat him to it. And now the mid man, Amanek, arriving on the scene, looking for this trade, might just get a nasty surprise.
Yeah, things heating up on the B bomb site here. There's pistols on G2, trying to do some work. It is Hunter with the AK now, and Crush already opening things up. Such a powerful position here, and Hunter, you just can't even get involved.
Yeah, with no utility to force that man at the back of the bomb site out, he's just, he's able to peek into that to his heart's content. And that's the round going in favor of HR. That AK, as you mentioned, even though they tried to retrieve it, they tried to throw some resistance in the way of the HellRaisers. Nothing comes through there for the G2 side, and a tactical pause now called in.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking kind of dire already for G2. This could have been the perfect pick for HellRaisers so far. I mean, not surprising that they haven't had much time at all to practice this map, and it is certainly one of the more difficult ones we have in the pool at the moment. I do feel like G2 actually adapted really well in their games yesterday, because they seem to go down quite a lot in both those maps and really pick themselves up. So hopefully Nexa can sort of get things going here, because it's looking quite stale so far.
Yeah, HellRaisers is certainly looking well drilled here. And, you know, we know Angel's not the sort to pick into a map without doing his prep. Everyone's seeming very aware of what these game plans are. You know, you think about these triple ramp peaks that we've been seeing inspired by Astralis. Angel getting the attention of the players here, but they're not able to deal with him. And this is very frustrating if you're G2. You know you've got a man trapped, but Nexa, in the meantime, you just mentioned how you wanted to see him try and piece this one together on the back of the tactical pause. Well, he's just decided to lead by example, opening this round up with a double kill, is now throwing G2 into the best situation they've been in a very, very long while.
Yeah, absolutely. Just punishing that mid-aggression there from HellRaisers. And like I said, that's sort of the first aggression we've seen from G2 towards that mid-area. They are just going to group up again as 4. Walk over towards A. There's only Angel here, and he's only just about getting to the site. Surely G2 convert this round. It would be an absolute disaster if they mess this one up. Oh, that's a tremendous nade. Quickly traded back by Amanek in mid. And I mean, Angel, if he can get much more done, it will be a miracle. And just taken out through the smoke.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, I was just about to say the exact same thing. Not much he could have hoped to achieve there being alone. We're very much on the same page already, Jake. You know, I'm liking it. Flaric, 1v4, and he's a long way from home. Not going to get given a means of getting back into this clutch. He's looking to hold on to the M4. Still a purchase in the future for HellRaisers, so they've got that to look forward to at the very, very least.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. One more round for G2 just to break the economy of HellRaisers. And like I said, they can really make this half theirs. We could easily see a 9-6, 8-7 to G2 if they pick themselves up and just carry on with this momentum.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Thinking back to that Nuke game yesterday, it was almost like just at one point in time, they kind of just decided like, all right, no, yeah, I think we just out-aim them now. And that's kind of how the game went down. Obviously, that was chaos, and this one, not quite resembling Nuke just yet from yesterday. However, it's certainly got the potential to do that. You look at all the raw talent in this G2 squad now, and it is just overflowing. Rush is nailing these replays as well. I feel like we're seeing everything, all the kills, even the kills that maybe we missed the first time around.
More aggression coming in from CTs, and I don't know. Yep, G2 do have people watching it, but already Nuki striking again. It's only Hunter here, and not the start G2 wanted going into this round. Could really wreck their economy here. Strong statements from HellRaisers. They're not scared to re-aggress even after losing that round. Again, it falls to Kenny S to try and just pull something out of nothing here.
Oh, but Nuki's going to have to land one hell of a flick. That flashbang forces him off the angle. Nuki not going to go back in. Instead, it's Flarich to make the next bit of contact there. That's a kill from deep within the B bomb site. He catches Kenny getting up into that boost. And so you see what the game plan is for G2 in this round. You know what they wanted to do, right? They were hoping that Kenny, from that boost, from forcing the AWPer out of mid, could have hung around for a little bit, secured that foothold, maybe opened this round back up. Now, on the back of losing him, Amanek and Nexa, 2 versus 4, they're barely moving. Nexa's trying to carve a path over here toward the B bomb site. But even if he finds success, it's going to be tricky for Amanek to get out of this foothold in mid. He does at least have that smoke, and that is going to be so valuable if this B play ever hopes to come in.
Yeah, Nexa seeing if he can find some sort of an opening here, and Amanek probably just going to sprint through that window if anything happens, but so much to clear. Actually, he's going through the mid door, so this could get quite interesting. Angel sort of shuts that whole round down. Lovely positioning from him. And again, G2, they're not ready for that A aggression. You see so many teams now boosting behind that forklift box, and G2, they've only done it a few times, and they just haven't been able to sustain the pressure that HellRaisers have been throwing towards that area of the map. Some more lovely replays coming in.
And you can see that HellRaisers are very ready for this one, right? Even Nuki, when he's peeking down this ramp, he's watching for that boost that you just mentioned, right? He's holding this position. And that's throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. He tries to go toe-to-toe with Kenny in this round, and so finally bringing that AWP out once again over here on the T side is Kenny. They throw him up in that boost, and for once, they get the better of the AWPer here towards the A bomb site. Now the pressure's on for the rest of HR. They start to rotate a few players around. Scooby gonna catch Hunter over at the ramp, and he's at least equalized this out back into a 4-on-4. 3 players here inside of the A site, so if G2 do decide to commit to this push, oh, hang on, this boost could be incredibly well timed. Kenny, oh, once again, just railed from an angle he is not ready for. But the rest of G2, they believe that this B site might just hold some promise. Flarich back in his little jiggle spot.
Yeah, quite common for the solo B player to play like that. You see Glaive, Dupree sort of do a similar thing on Astralis. And again, it's just left on these 3 players, and Flarich already opening up. He's going to get a second. Jack's left in a 1v3, and he can do this. He's low on HP, unfortunately, but it's not out of the realms of possibility here.
Certainly not, and he's at least managed to get that bomb down. HellRaisers, now it's them on the clock. Jax has not moved a muscle. Smoke goes out, and he's going to hear these footsteps. Knows that both players are here. Almost the 4th kill there for Jax. Not quite, though. And Crush closing out the 2v1 for HellRaisers. Another round for the CT side. It's just keeping... Sorry, just keeps stockpiling up. G2 yet to really throw much in the way of it. And this is, you know, now you kind of get an understanding as to why Chad was saying on the desk, this is a hard matchup to look at because of this map pool. We didn't really know what to expect from G2 on Vertigo. And same can be said for HellRaisers. So it's looking good right now if you're a HR fan.
Yep, time and time again we've seen this aggression, and even on the other side of the map, Flarich getting aggro all on his own. If he had gone down there, it would have been a disaster, but he makes it work somehow, taking Kenny S off the board already, and they just keep getting more and more aggressive as time goes on, and Hunter's been pushed all the way back past the bridge, and G2, they're just going to contact into B here, it seems. Maybe boost window, but no, there you go, Jack's opening things up. Crush is already here already with that SG, but he can't make it work. And Angel's only got an MP9.
Man, Jax is on a tear in just creating all this space for G2, and I like that adjustment. They almost say to HellRaisers, all right, if you want to come fight us at ramp with 3, we'll just sneak into the B site. They know that these rotations are going to take hours almost to come through from the HR side. And so now that bomb in rotation, it's finally going to get planted. It's taken some time, but they will plug in those numbers. Don't really have a lot of money on the T side, but they can very much justify hunting here because they know that that last round coming down to the 1v1 at the very end of things. They've done a good job of at least impeding the HellRaisers' economy. If they could strip these guns away, then it should be the eco in the next round. So you have quite a lot to gain from hunting down even one of these players.
Yeah, absolutely nothing left really on the HellRaisers' economy. Can't really get much of a buy going into the next round, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it. And G2, again, have such a good opportunity to salvage this half. It will be really interesting to see if they can actually manage those 6 rounds. Just give them a chance on that CT side, where we can see a bit more, you know, maybe a bit more aggression from their part, maybe getting a bit more comfortable. See Amanek pick up that secondary AWP, which he was so good with yesterday. So far, not having too much of an impact. The man that is, he's absolutely trying his heart out, Jax. 2 rounds in a row where he's had a huge impact. At least this round, they actually convert it.
Yeah, and you know, on Twitter yesterday, we saw Jax did put that tweet out saying how he is feeling a little bit uncomfortable, right? Obviously, English, not a language that he knows incredibly well, but he's teaching himself. Also, another man who doesn't know English that well is Mr. Byron. Hello. Oh, we can't hear you, mate. Sorry, we've cut you off for this reason.
You said he can't speak English.
No English.
There we go. Hello, Hugo.
Hello.
How have you been finding this?
Vertigo is way harder than I thought. I'm looking at this map on my second monitor. I'm like, I don't even know if they're on top site or bottom. It's getting scary here, Harry.
And is that Mr. Rushley Rush I see in the background behind you?
Yeah, he's not the one doing replays, by the way. Get your credits right. I thought Aisha had too easy of a job today, so I'm making her really work for it.
Okay, I like this. Right, I like that. Hugo, you still there, or have they cut you off?
I don't know. Am I
Oh,
here?
you're still here. Do you want to give us the rundown at the beginning of this one, and then we'll throw it back over to Mr. Jakey?
Sure thing. We've got more ramp aggression here from HellRaisers. It's been a mainstay. G2, they've been having trouble getting rid of this, Harry. HellRaisers, free map control, and G2 have kind of abandoned the A site. It's going back to a mid play. Kenny waiting for the flank, and it might come in this round as well. Look at the push down the ramp for HellRaisers. 3 players. But back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. You set this one up nicely, and now all that's left is for Jakey and I to take it home. 5 players stacked up outside of this B site for G2, and the push about to come in. Luckily, Nuki here with this AWP.
I can't actually tell if HellRaisers pushed all the way through A there. Kenny has just...
Oh.
See you later, Scooby, straight through a smoke. And G2, yeah, they've changed things up. Not giving away any picks towards that A bomb site, and seems to be working out for them so far. And again, we see HellRaisers, they've forced fully into this round, and if they lose this, it's an easy 9-6 potentially for G2. A great half in their opinion after starting so shakily.
Most definitely, right? If you think about the fact it was, what, 9-3 at one point in time in favor of HellRaisers, and then suddenly you're able to recover and finish things off 6-9 at the end of the first half, you would be feeling very happy with that in the G2 camp. And now they return to this A-ramp portion. Crush has just rotated away.
I feel like they saw him. Speeding things up here, next to leading the way.
Ooh.
Almost. Jack's lovely trading here. Angel has to really consider saving here, or else they're not going to have much going into this last round, and sticks around too long. Even Nuki's here.
Oh, and that's a big kill to come in. He really wants to hold on to the AWP. Kenny stripped it away from him, though. And now knowing that the AWP and the M4 and an AK can be retrieved over towards CT, I wonder if we're going to see anyone from G2 try and aggress and lock these down. That looks to be the decision made by Hunter. Flaric, is he able to get in and grab anything? He is not. The Hunter becomes the Hunter and just kind of wrecks the prey as you would expect.
Yeah, and that almost feels like a bit of inexperience on Nuki's part, maybe a bit of just eagerness to get some frags, get a bit more into the game. As going into this last round, HellRaisers won't have too much to work with. The round loss bonus is starting to build up, but I'll be surprised if they have an AWP. And yeah, absolutely nothing. That's a horrendous buy. Whereas they could have been saving an M4 and an AWP into this.
They got a baby AWP. They got the scout. But yeah, no, not much to write home about in this one for the HellRaisers side. Nuki's back at it again over towards ramp, but with Kenny throwing up in that boost, I know who I favor in that fight, AWP versus scout. And so he'll just concede this map control. G2, not often that they've got this far up the ramp without encountering anyone, so they might just take this in their stride.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense now that HellRaisers are lacking on that firepower and can't get so aggressive. And G2 have walked so far up without getting any contact, and finally Jax opens things up. Nuki, nice trade, however. Will G2 slow it down from here, but he's just going to re-aggress. Hunter's not ready for this at all. Ooh. Close miss there from Nuki. Could have really punished Hunter there, and things could have fallen apart for G2, however. Utility's coming in now, and still Amanek watching the back as Kenny S rips another potentially through smoke. Not too sure. And yeah, it's nicer from G2 at the end of the half, and it seems like they have salvaged this.
Yeah, Flourish and Scooby, not much they can do with just this CZ and Deeg, and it's made even worse by G2. They've slowed this down to a snail's pace. They're just not giving you an avenue to get back into this round if you're HellRaisers. It must be very frustrating to come up against. Scooby desperately looking for some means of creating some space here from atop that little... from atop the blue boxes, has to just hop on down, and now they know his whereabouts. Hunter's gone through this smoke. Both players here. Flourish does at least get one. Nexa was tagged up earlier on. There's maybe a chance. The reload, though, mistimed. The Nexa there to get that trade. G2, they do recover that first half. They managed 6 rounds over on the T side. Now they move into that CT side for the second half, the one that they were keen to dodge the first time around. Is that some signs of weakness from G2? Or will it be at the last trick up their sleeve? Join us after a quick break to find out who takes Vertigo. HellRaisers, they're straight up looking like Vertigo Globals at this point. They've come into this map firing on all cylinders, and they do have a 9-6 lead at the end of that first half. G2 recovering nicely. They were down 9-3 at one point in time, so they've at least salvaged a doable half, a doable comeback here in the first map of this best-of-3 series. Joining me is Jakey on the mic, usually our resident observer. Instead, we've got Hugo over in the hot seat. How would you rate him on a scale of 1 to 10 thus far, Jakey?
You know, he's doing a solid job. I mean, he's already messed up going into this first half by showing the normal scoreboard and not our beautiful ESL scoreboard.
Oof, there we go. That's what
Although
we pay
he's also
him the
messed
big
it up because he's not in a
for.
cinematic and it messes up with the HUD. But what can you do? Other than that, I'd say it's been pretty successful so far. It's not been one of the more crazy Vertigo games where people are all over the map, but you know, he's doing a fine job.
Well, you mentioned that no one's all over the map, and that stands true right now in this one. G2 with a very, very heavy focus towards this B side of the map. HellRaisers, where does this one want to end up? They haven't heard nor seen anything yet, so this is a bit of a guessing game at this point.
Yeah, the utility is moving towards A. However, the bomb is actually wandering back to B as G2 start rotating off. So it looks like HellRaisers have fully sold this fake. And here we go. It's just Jax left on the B bomb site. However, Nex is already here, joined by Amanek, so this could get quite scary for HellRaisers.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd, like, segregation of fights all across the map, and somehow the kills going back and forth. Oh, it's chaos. Don't know how he's managed to catch a single one of these, but Kenny here trying to sort this round out, trying to get a leash back on the beast that is HellRaisers. Crush an Angel. Oh, quick work of Amanek. It's Kenny left to try and clutch this, and Angel shutting him down. Pistol round locked in once more for HellRaisers. They'll now reach double digits, 10-6 up on this T side. And a chance now to really springboard themselves into this lead early on.
That's the problem with the B bomb site, however. You let the Ts get in there so close with the blocks, and you always feel like you're going to be more confident running around those tight corners. So many bullets, and it's so dangerous at close range. And yeah, Amanek, he's saying, ow, my neck, as his head gets ripped off by Crush.
So Mike was beaten up. That killed me. Oh, well. I'm never going to be able to look at his name the same now. Ow, my neck. Let's see if they're able to find anything with this 4-spy that they've put together over on the CT side. HellRaisers haven't invested in the most typical of purchases. We've started to see teams lean towards grabbing these Galils a lot more, it feels like, over at the Pro League. Opting instead for some extra utility on the likes of Nuki and Crush.
To be fair, I think it's a pretty underrated gun. I mean, when you have such powerful rifles like the AK and the SG at the moment, it's easy to get overshadowed, but it's actually not too bad if you actually take the time to practice with it. Its bursts and one-taps are really crisp. You know, you look at people like Chris J, who are much more open to trying out different rifles, and you can see the success, but already Angel opening up with that MAC-10. Don't even need proper rifles.
Now, the SMGs are doing the job just fine, and that's also pulled the rotation away from this B site. G2 unaware of the beast that lurks beneath. A threat rearing its head up from the surface, and actually, okay, they've dealt with Angel. However, that kill comes through. They're thinking, all right, we got a 4-on-4. Well, actually, maybe. I was going to say that this should still be a HellRaisers round with the B site going their way. However, Jax has taken the advantage back. They try to assemble that boost over in mid, and actually, there was a player ready and waiting for it. 3-on-3 now, but these players are tagged up, and already deep within the site is Kenny. That's the man removed. Nuki gone as well. It's Flarich throwing into this clutch from over towards Ramp. And they're already tapping on the bomb. He's got rid of Jax, but they're sticking it, and Kenny is not missing a beat. CT side gamer once again, as he comes alive here in this 4-spy round. 3 kills on him. He'll juggle the Galil over to Nexa. And G2 not ready to go down without a fight. I'm wondering if we're going to see these 4-spy wars continue. It must be tempting getting that bomb down, having it fall with only 2 players surviving for the side of G2. You must be tempted to go for a force here.
Absolutely, and HellRaisers, they're going to be absolutely kicking themselves that round. Angel done all he can, really. He's scouted out the A-bomb site, he got that original kill, and passed on enough information for his team just to walk into that B-bomb site. It was Jax who was such a nuisance in that little window. Beautiful shot, trying to carry on this mid-domination. He's looked so crisp this game so far. Talk about feeling comfortable.
Yeah, right. And, you know, it did seem like I saw the tweet that he put out, got some very positive responses, both from his teammates, from fans, and also the man at the head of G2, the organization, Mr. Carlos. He, oh, hang on a minute. Nah, this still shouldn't get too dangerous. But yeah, he got a lot of support from both the community and people who matter a hell of a lot, right? The fans rallying behind him, the man paying your wages rallying behind you. All of that must be a nice little confidence boost for him. And he's certainly showing that again in this round. 2 kills for the man in question. And G2 in with another, closing this gap, getting ever closer to that all-tied scoreline that they're hoping for. HellRaisers maybe starting to feel the pressure now.
Yeah, honestly, I'm starting to side with G2. Looking at the rest of this game, they've really started coming into their own. Seem to be slow starters at the moment, but once they get flowing, like Hunter's hitting shots, Jack's hitting shots, and what can you do? Kenny S already whipping out the orb. And here we go, it's the repeat of the first half, just side-swapped, and already Kenny S. Beautiful entry. Not going to attempt to make AWP sounds. Not really my job description, but...
Well, lucky enough, Jakey. We bailed us out and we've turned them back on. This isn't a silent movie anymore. I loved the chance to get some Foley work in. But... not today. And Kenny immediately repositions with that AWP after getting the first kill, right? Back over to mid now. He's being very mobile with this big green gun, trying to keep HellRaisers guessing as to its whereabouts.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really fun player to observe. You watched it on Nuke yesterday. He was just flying around the map. He's outside, he's down vents, he's in secret. He's just an absolute animal running around the map. And he's so mobile with that AWP. Always been a great trait of his. And here we go, the site's stacked for G2 here as HellRaisers look to execute.
Amanek, the one SMG player holding close, going to be that first point of contact, and he drops Flarich with the bomb, looking for more. Amanek might not even need the rifle. Nuki and Crush, they've come in, they might have just saved the day. It's still the man advantage in favor of G2. But they've at least got some site control and a bit of room to work with. However, as this clock ticks away further and further, the pressure to get this bomb down really starts to mount on the shoulders of Crush. And in the situation he's got with no smokes, nothing to facilitate that bomb plant, he's going to be hard-pressed to find it. Taps it, Nexa now peeking from CT. And Crush knows if he doesn't win one of those engagements, he's going to have a very, very hard time to win that round. He's not able to utilize the couple of chances that he gets.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt from Crush and Nuki, I believe, trying to redeem that round for HellRaisers. Amanek, so important in that position. He was cut off from the rest of his team, and 2 fabulous kills with that UMP. So dangerous, so close up, and again, HellRaisers forced onto the eco. G2, perfect opportunity to get some money in the bank. Really want to be looking to save at least 4 players here as Jax keeping that confidence up. Just going to be charging these pistols down and finally has a bit of backup. Here we go, it's going to be an absolute slaughter, surely. And there you go.
Yeah, that goes about as well as you might expect one of these anti-eco rounds to go. Everyone getting mopped up in middle. HellRaisers, they try and pay it some attention, but G2 are there, and they're not looking for love, they're looking for kills. So Nuki, 1v5, Deeg in hand. You were hyping him up as a bit of a madman, but this is asking a lot.
Yeah, Hugo just performed the cardinal sin as the observer, not going on the last man alive. You never know. He might have one-digged all 5 of them. It happens.
It does actually sometimes. But that one there is one that did feel a little too far gone. We can let Hugo off for that one. I'm not one to defend him either. So Hugo, you get this one for free. The next one will cost you. And speaking of costs, we've got the investment in. An interesting thing to note, Nuki on the AWP doesn't have armor behind it. He's running the glass cannon in this round. Curious where they're going to try and put him early on. He's currently holding down towards ramp. Although, speaking of AWP aggression, Kenny, all the way down the B ramp, has a player here supporting him. I can't think of a time that I've seen the AWP go for that angled peek down into the B hole. So G2 constantly switching the positioning of Kenny up. I don't know how... Oh my word, Jackson Amanek, this tag team over towards mid, are just shutting down HellRaisers every avenue they try and go. G2 are already there, and these scoped rifles just shutting these players down time and time again. Flarich looking for the trade, but no one's getting past Jax today. And there's the third. Of course it is. Jax, man, what changed in one night? Yesterday he's saying, oh, I don't feel comfortable. And that English book that they bought him he must have been one of these speed readers. He's absorbed all the knowledge from it already.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking fantastic, and he looked so good in this G2 lineup at the end of that last iteration, and this is exactly what we were hoping to see, what Nexa was talking about yesterday in that interview. They don't feel too comfortable in those mid-round calls, so they're just not going to let it get to that. Amanek just flashing in Jax there, and they're just absolutely tearing them apart before HellRaisers can even get going. And the jubilant faces we saw at half-time turn to sorrow here as HellRaisers really struggling to get anything on the board, bar that pistol round on this T side.
Yeah, it's almost like that big brain meme, you know, like you can't let it fall apart in the mid-round if you win it at the start of the round, you know? So that's the G2 philosophy by the looks of things. Every CT side from them feels almost more like a T side. They just spread out, they take so much map control, and they're so hard to play against as a result. Kenny is someone who, I feel like you see such a difference between CT side and T side performances on that AWPer. And his CT side, when he knows he's got like a stable line to just be rotating through and plucking players from these defaults that HellRaisers are looking for, that's where he really comes into his own. This round, Kenny, he can be found over towards this A side of the map, holding down the ramp. There are some players mobilizing down towards the ramp beneath him. So we might just get to see some of this Kenny S AWP over on the CT side in round number 22.
Yeah, we saw how dangerous this exact angle was for Scooby on the other side. Hunter here, he's had his moments so far in this game. Seeing if he can defend this A site as HellRaisers look to just execute with some smokes, probably just hoping to get that bomb down. It'll be interesting to see if G2 even let it get to that, or if they're just going to fight in front of these smokes. There you go, Hunter. It's such a horrible angle for the T's there. I'm even surprised people still go for it. It just seems like they're walking straight into the CT's crosshair every single time. And Hunter, he's going to get flashed through that smoke, I feel.
Well, let's see.
If it comes to that.
Yeah, you've looked into the crystal ball. It actually might not come to that. Crush has been able to get by, and no one seems aware of that from G2, but Kenny, ooh, he's quick. He's very, very quick. 3 kills there between the two stalwart A-site defenders, Hunter and Kenny, putting up some numbers now. And yeah, this AWP really is worth its weight in gold for the G2 side. They now continue to build upon this lead. HellRaisers not able to get that bomb plant you were talking about. That very much seemed like the hope, the prayer heading into this one.
Yeah, to be fair, that looks like a miss smoke as well, so not ideal. And like you can see the danger of playing so aggressively against those pistols, but when everyone's hitting their shots, it just doesn't even matter. And Kenny as well, he's just not stopping this half. Crush, kind of lucky to get away with his life there. Kenny S finally backing off, seeing where else he can pick up around the map. He's just on his bike. He's on his bike. He's running around. Here we go. He's already back at the A site, and he's aggressing once again. Flashbang from Hunter, and he's just going to start slowly creeping around this corner. It's so nice to see Kenny just so free to do what he wants. It's where he's at his best, when he's feeling so confident. He can just tear teams apart before they even get going. And even just this, it's so much information for the CTs.
Yeah, this position allows Kenny to get away with a shot and then hopefully retreat back into the bomb site. The one thing that can complicate this angle is a player back in the tarpaulins there, and Kenny actually pretty fortunate to have gotten off the angle at the timing that he did. Nuki just emerging at the same time as Flaric. And so Kenny is allowed to do what he wanted to do, which is just take one and then back out of this round. He'll take that man advantage all day long. G2 not missing a beat. And HellRaisers having to divert away from this A site, now look to try and find some solace towards the B side of the map. Nexa waiting over here at the back of the site. Scooby does have a Molotov. I was wondering if that was going to come in to clear this position, and they might wish that it did. Nexa finally gets mopped up. Crush is on a monstrous flank, but with 5 seconds left, unless he starts flying around this building like an Apache helicopter, he's not winning this round. It's a 13th now for G2. And they are really, really coming alive on this CT side.
Yeah, everyone doing their jobs for G2. Next to their left on the B bomb site, Amanek was just about joining him. But you can see how much skill they have in this lineup where even the in-game leaders absolutely crushing it. Beautiful headshots coming in. Even taking a few pop shots at Amanek at the end there. So fired up and looks to be a bit of B aggression. Maybe the double nade coming in. Not anyone there to meet it as the mid-aggression comes back in. Finally, Jack's being slain. HellRaisers finally have an advantage going into this 24th round. You can see, G2, they've already evacuated the B bomb site. Hunter, he's just a crest on his own. He doesn't care.
Yeah, this is an interesting rotation from G2, right? They just leave B and keep everyone over towards this CT mid area on the map. Not often that this is the kind of angles we see teams holding. Now, you do have this re-aggression from Kenny back towards the B site, and that at least allows G2 to know that no one's gone deep, no one's pushed into the extremities of this B bomb site. Hunter now spotting players down towards the ramp, dropping this Incendiary, looking to slow this play down and buy some time for his teammates to get into position.
Flank coming in. Nexa.
Oh, yeah, that's gone unnoticed. Nexa might have just snatched this whole round away. Oh, no. It was looking so good for HellRaisers, and now it all falls onto the shoulders of one man, Scooby, deep within the B bomb site, but that bomb is a long way from home. Deagle in hand, he's got armor behind it at the very, very least, but already Hunter is on this angle. Damage done, not able to find the kill the first time around, but second time's a charm for Hunter. And now 14-10. Since finding the pistol, HellRaisers have not been given a single round yet in this second half.
Yeah, the two new boys for G2 coming in hot there. Hunter did so well after that early aggression. He was hanging around only on 50 HP, and he still managed to get out and buy so much time. HellRaisers were so scared to chase him, and Nexa just so sneaky coming up the back. Just absolutely mows them down. Again, Jack's just giving it in mid, however. Nexa's maybe getting a bit ahead of himself as he gets taken out early by Scooby. Again, HellRaisers have the entry, but we haven't seen them convert it as of yet. They still only have that pistol round so far on the T side. G2 just looking absolutely dominant.
Yeah, that bomb is even still dropped all the way back in T-Sports. That's something they've got to bear in mind as they're setting up towards this A side of the map. I imagine we're going to see Crush or Scooby rotate away and look to retrieve that.
Things are happening.
Yeah, things are happening. Flaric trading over here in middle, keeps this in the advantage of HellRaisers. Hugo communicating with us there from the observing realm.
And this is a weird round. I mean, Scooby's just walking in and throws his life away, really. Evens things up, but he really doesn't have to. Nuki, lovely catch onto Hunter. Such a scary position if it gets left unchecked, but that is the angle to clear it. And Nuki trying to secure this A bomb site all on his lonesome. Kenny S is already here, however. Misses the shot. Bomb plant should be coming through here. Amanek. Oh, that's a dirty position.
Oh, he's denied the bomb plant. 20 seconds left. This mid flank is still coming in. Kenny, he needs to deal with the player in the site now because Flaric arriving catches him with his pants down. HellRaisers, they'll finally break the drought of rounds on this T side. They'll put up an 11th. Still a couple between them and G2. And that one there, on the back of taking that man advantage, they're able to convert in spite of Kenny and Amonek's best efforts. That's a big kill from Nuki as well. Having the foresight to check that little position that Hunter's in, it's such a horrible angle, and one that did go overlooked in the beginning of Vertigo. I feel like you can't get away with it so much now. Players are very much aware of just as how strong that position is.
Yep, and I mean, it's a very nice decision to see G2 take that tactical pause. Malik just calming everyone down. They've got so much money on that CT side. I believe 4 or 5 of them were above 10k, so HellRaisers, they're going to have to almost win out here if they want to keep this going, because G2 could possibly reset them here. And like I said, really nice to see G2 just taking a second, not letting things get out of hand, just calming down, talking about what they're going to do following into this round. We'll have to see what the answer is. The aggression's been working so well for them so far. I'd be surprised if we see that keep up. And Kenny S, yeah, he's on his own on the A bomb site, just controlling all that part of the map. HellRaisers just slowing it down. Jax again with the entry in mid. Such a nuisance. Like, you have to sacrifice so many players just to take this mid off him. He's just not scared. Almost 30 bombing. At
this point, you got to wonder if it's even worth it for HellRaisers. You're right. It does feel like they're sacrificing players to Jax. And finally, Flarich dethrones the god of mid. Angel in with that kill onto Kenny, catching a timing there as he tries to cross back into the elevator rooms. Somehow this round has flipped in advantage of HellRaisers, and in a pretty big way as well. These kills continuing to come in towards the A side of the map. With just under a minute left and that bomb's still back in T-spawn. HellRaisers don't even have to commit to this if they don't want to.
Yeah, we're going to see them just stop and hold, wait for those pushes from the CT side as Scooby explores that B bomb site. He was picked off on his own the other round with Kenny S sitting there, but nobody there now, and Angel. Again, HellRaisers just throwing their lives away when they have such a strong advantage, but this should be their round. Not much G2 can do, really. Scooby already securing this B bomb site.
Yeah, you can't imagine Amonek is going to check this close left corner. I mean, now he might. As that bomb plant comes in, he's anticipating that players have gotten close. This is still a kill that Scooby should win 9 times out of 10. But that molly, Amonek goes down. Scooby lands a blinder of a shot, and now it's all left onto the shoulders of Nexa. 1v2 and Flarich in the window. That's the thing that should solidify this round for HellRaisers. Nexa, though, heads up decision, ducks down beneath the window. And now just looking to play for these exits. Won't be gifted any, however. G2 forego this round. He's going to drop the smoke to try and bait the peek back in from Flarich, and that at least serves its purpose. So he stripped the gun away from the hands of HR. Once again, only one man surviving. G2, they're at least doing a good job of, even though they haven't won these last 2 rounds, they've always kept them competitive. They've always kept it close. And so as a result, you know, they are only 1 round win away from breaking that T-side economy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we saw, just one player surviving there. Luckily, it was the orb, so Nuki can keep that into the following round. But yeah, really smart heads-up play from Nexa. Seems to have quite the brain on his shoulders. Here we go, Nuki ready for this aggression from Kenny. Yeah.
Oh, actually, there's a smoke drop down ramp that just plumes by the looks of things. So they try and go around it. Kenny now looking over the top of this smoke. This is just a stalemate between the 2 orbs. Who sees who first? Jax, in the meantime, of course he's going to win his fight in middle. That's his 30th kill, by the way.
Kenny's just falling off.
Kenny fell off the map. Rush, get that one clipped, get it ready.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, you saw from his POV, he didn't actually know how to jump on that railing from the start, so not too comfortable in that area. And that is devastating. Jax getting them up in this round, and Kenny S just falling off. And here we go, HellRaisers. If they win the map, based off these last few rounds, G2 are going to be kicking themselves. And this could be the save now for G2. The money's starting to run thin. Only Nexa with much of a bank. Loss bonus is going to start coming into play for them, however. But HellRaisers, rejuvenation going into this last few rounds of the map here. And we could start seeing all the rounds here, Harry.
Oh, it feels like it. It feels like it. I mean, we're in for the treat regardless. And this one does hold the promise of going all 30.
Can't wait to see what replay Rush gives us from that Kenny
Yeah,
S4.
yeah, I'm excited as well. Ooh.
Oh. Sitting in a toilet instead of watching kills. I mean, yeah, it's a decision. It's definitely something.
Every observer has their own little unique twist.
Yeah, sure.
Right? There's...
Maybe he's just commenting on his own observing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, you guys getting lit up right now, and I'm kind of loving it.
To be fair, he's actually doing quite a fine job, I'd say.
I'm going to hold my hand up and say it now. I don't pretend I could ever observe.
There we go. Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for people who can do it, because I could not. There's just too many buttons for me, personally.
There are certainly a few buttons. Although I don't know how you talk for so long.
Yeah, no, me either, honestly. You know, life finds a way, though, doesn't it? So, you know, we'll keep cracking on, and so will HellRaisers with this B play by the looks of things already. 4 players grouped up outside of this bomb site, G2. They've elected to leave this side of the map pretty barren, pretty empty, and that allows HellRaisers to get Angel deep within the B bomb site. Nexa, good for one, but it's quickly traded. Amanek doing all he can to buy some time, and he's helped out by Jax there with this angle in toward the B bomb site. That is a sick little angle from Jax, catching those players crossing. Map point now for G2. That reality of breaking the money, however, not a thing anymore as a result of HellRaisers finally finding a bit of a cleaner round in the one prior.
Yeah, and that's HellRaisers there just trying to catch G2 off guard. They haven't really changed the pace up much this half. Just going for that contact B straight from the get-go. Nexa and Amanek trading out perfectly, and we saw Hunter and Jax sort of just cleaning up at the end there. Again, a nice tactical pause call from G2. I love seeing the teams actually utilize tactical pauses, because so many games you see just rounds get away from teams without sort of taking a halt, taking a breath, just reassessing what's going wrong, how we're going to look at fixing it going into the following rounds. And G2, even when you're winning, you know, just discussing what you're going to do going into this final round, because if they lose this, it's going to look quite awkward going into round 30. And Jax, 31 kills here.
I think you're pretty right on as well about, you know, I like this from G2 because they know how impactful this round is. They know if they lose this, okay, yeah, they've still got to buy, but then you're playing for overtime. You know, this is your chance to end it here and now, so they do not want to go into this feeling like there are those breakdowns in communication cropping up once again. They've had that extra 30 seconds just to make sure everyone's on the same page into this all-important 29th round.
Absolutely, and HellRaisers not much utility at all to work with. 2 smokes, and already Kenny S. That was Angel with the utility there, so it's all left on Nuki and Jax as well. They just can't even get going.
Whatever game plan they had, it is well and truly out the window. You're bang on as well with Angel dying. So much of the utility in this round that HellRaisers had is gone. It was largely on the back of that one man. So now Nex is throwing his one smoke in. That at least cuts off one of these angles at Elevator. Ooh, what's this?
Oh no, he's absolutely ready for it.
Kenny is one step ahead. Oh dear, Kenny's looking for even more. He's trying to complete this round in a big way. For G2, they're sitting on map point, and one man is all that stands between them and taking the map pick of HellRaisers over the line. Nuki alone, 1v5. Can he find anything? He knows that Kenny's up on top of blue, but he's not getting given an angle. He starts to get deeper. Jax got Nuki following up with another, but Kenny immediately trades, and that is G2 walking across the finish line here in map number 1. They'll take HellRaisers map pick with a dominant CT side.